In 1953, Dwight Eisenhower gave one of history's most powerful endorsements of nuclear energy.
The United States knows that peaceful power from atomic energy is no dream of the future. That capability, already proved, is here, now, today. Who can doubt if the entire body of the world's scientists and engineers had adequate amounts of fissionable material with which to test and develop their ideas, that this capability would rapidly be transformed into universal, efficient, and economic usage?
Today, we need more nuclear power for a lot of reasons. Electricity is the world's most important and fastest growing form of energy. Developing countries and big tech alike need lots more juice. But we need an alternative to the old nuclear blueprints. The big reactors built over the past few years have cost too much and taken too long to build. In short, we have to shrink fission. We need reactors that are smaller, lighter, faster to build, and cheaper than those large reactors. Instead of 1,000 megawatt machines that can power a big city, small modular reactors can be from 10 to 300 megawatts and can power everything from an AI data center to a small town. The SMR competition is fierce and it's global. The Russians have deployed a shipborne SMR in Siberia. China has built a gas-cooled one in Shandong province. The stakes are high. So who will win this race? We didn't have to go far to find a promising SMR company. Allo Atomics is right here in Austin, just 5 miles from my house. So we went to take a look.
So I think what's incredible is right now we're seeing record levels of support across the board in a couple of really important kind of verticals. So we've got record levels of government support, record levels of investor support, record levels of public support, but probably most importantly, record levels of support from the right type of customer. AI data centers, they're offering pretty much an unprecedented amount of demand. In the US alone, in the next 5 years, 100 gigawatts globally. But that's like creating 40 new cities in a matter of 5 years. These hyperscalers, they have a very high willingness to pay if you're able to get this stuff built quickly. The reactor itself, you see everything on the right gets inserted into the vessel on the left. That is roughly 10 feet diameter, 20 feet tall, and that is one module that gets shipped on site. And so from the factory, we're shipping around 35 modules from the factory to each site per kind of reactor deployment. So that's kind of how we deploy a modular reactor, entirely making the plant in the factory and shipping it to site in modules.
And all of it can be put on a standard semi-truck and truck to wherever you want to. You don't need a rail car to do this. You can do it on a regular flatbed truck.
Yeah, that's right. So that was a major design constraint for us, is saying what are the mass limits, what are the size limits for shipping on standard roads in the US? And that was a major part of what defined our dimensions on the design.
Tell us what we're seeing here, Matt.
Yeah, so what you're looking at is the inside of the nuclear reactor, and the nuclear fuel will go right here. So what's amazing is it's about the size of a human, but it can power 10,000 homes for 3 years with no refueling. So incredibly energy dense. As you can see, Allo has a good story to tell. The company has raised about $130 million from investors. And in August of 2025, it was one of 10 companies that the Department of Energy picked for fast-track development, with the goal of having at least 3 test reactors up and running by July 4th of 2026. In my view, that's an ambitious goal. But further, Allo is facing a very competitive marketplace. There are about 24 companies here in the U.S. that are aiming for the same SMR market as Allo. In addition, of those 24, there are 2 large publicly traded companies, including GE Vernova and BWX Technologies, that are developing SMRs, and other publicly traded companies, including NuScale and Oklo, again, competing head-to-head with Allo. And on the global market, the competition arguably is even more fierce, with about 24 companies from 19 countries that are now in various stages of SMR development. All of that said, the prize here, or the potential prize, is enormous. Big tech needs staggering amounts of juice for AI.
The Electric Power Research Institute estimates AI in the U.S. alone by 2030 will need 50 gigawatts of power. That's roughly equal to the entire generation capacity of the state of Pennsylvania, which has 13 million people. In addition, big tech companies like Amazon, Meta, Microsoft, and Google are putting billions of dollars into nuclear, restarting old nuclear plants, and they're investing in SMRs. So they clearly see the potential here. In addition, the companies that win the SMR race will be able to tap into the global electricity sales business. And last year, in 2024, that market was a $2.5 trillion business. So the prize here, the potential profits here are obvious. But so are the hurdles, and the hurdles are just as obvious. Public acceptance is one. Capital, regulations, fuel, all of them pose challenges. For me, I've been writing about SMRs since 2008. I've seen lots of press releases. I've heard lots of pitches, and I'm at the point now where show me, who are the companies that are going to win? Allo has a good story to tell, but it's not the only one. Further, I think the potential here and the promise is just enormous. If SMRs can be developed at scale, they could help bring billions of people in the developing world out of poverty, out of darkness, and into the light. They could help fuel new technologies like AI and other things that we haven't even heard about. And I think as well, to go back to the beginning, they can help fulfill the promise that Eisenhower talked about when he spoke before the UN in 1953. I'm going to continue reporting on SMRs. I've recently published the SMR Intelligence US, which is a compendium of all the US SMR companies, including the ones I talked about earlier. We're also publishing the SMR Intelligence Global, which will provide a compendium of the global marketplace for the companies that are contending in the SMR space. You can find all of that at my Substack, robertbryce.substack.com. Thanks for watching. I'm Robert Bryce.